that bulldogs are born to suffer, and it's because they are deliberately bred to have these exaggerated features like the flat faces, the shortened airways, and it means that they can't even take a breath without gasping for air, let alone enjoying going for a run around the park, playing fetch, catching a ball, and they really are the furthest thing from a natural dog that you could imagine. You know, they can't mate without human interference, and 90% of these dogs have to be birthed via C-section because the puppies' heads are now so big that the mother dogs can't give birth to them naturally.
They sound like Frankenstein dogs.
Yeah, and this is just some of the reasons why we need to stop promoting and glamorising these incredibly unwell dogs.
Why have they become the sort of accessory of the rich and... Like, everybody that well, not British, but French bulldogs, certainly, I know. But this type of looking dog, why is it so expensive and why has it become...
Very fashionable.
What
there
it is
just this huge rise in these sort of designer breeds or these arbitrary traits. And unfortunately, it all comes down to the Kennel Club, which is the organisation that puts on crufts. And they decide the most desirable dogs. And then they actively encourage the inbreeding of closely related dogs to get these desirable features.
But the British Bulldog has been around for a very long time.
Yeah, no, they are.
This isn't a new trend.
But
I mean,
actually, if you look at what an English Bulldog looked like back then versus now, they are virtually unrecognisable because of the decades of inbreeding. Yeah,
Mike, no one... You're a dog lover. Sorry, Jennifer, to cut you off. You're a dog lover. No one wants any animal to suffer in any way.
Of course not. Look, the symbolism of the British Bulldog is enormous, OK? My father fought in the Second World War in the Navy for 6 years. My father cried on the day that Churchill died in '65. And, of course, the British Bulldog is associated with Churchill and Churchillian values. And that's the way I see it. Now, I understand what Peter's saying, but I think you're being very selective about choosing what sort of dog you want to have a go at. Because I've looked up all the dogs that people have in their homes. The Cocker Spaniels have terrible health issues. They have hearing issues and sight issues. The sausage dog, do you remember that little dog Twiglet last week that was kidnapped and then taken back again? It's a little dachshund, OK? It has terrible problems. It has short little legs. And it's all about inbreeding amongst dogs going back hundreds of years. There's no such thing as the perfect dog in this country. Every dog has got some sort of problem related to crossbreeding, and I don't know why you've picked on the bulldog.
Well, you know, I agree with you. All dogs are inherently ill that are being deliberately bred to look a certain way. And you're right, it is across all breeds, which is why the healthiest and happiest dogs are mutts, because, you know, dogs don't care what they look like. If it was up to them, they would just mate with, you know, whoever took their fancy that day. But it's humans who are deliberately making dogs look a certain way and forcing them to mate with family members.
That is cruel, I agree, but I don't think that's bulldogs. That is more, isn't it, sort of designer dogs, you know, the sort of the flat-faced dogs that you're talking about. It's not bulldogs. I mean, I know. Well, I mean, we've seen Loki this morning, that dog. That dog looks perfectly happy to me. You know,
well, I mean, the look on you can see Loki's face there. That's not necessarily happy. It's a content dog. The look of a bulldog is it's just very typical, isn't it?